Okay, so on this one, we're going to write a void method named clear, which accepts an integer array and the number of elements in that array and sets the array to 0. Now, it seems weird. I feel like we should just be able to write one method that only has one parameter, and that method would be public static void. It's not going to return anything. Okay, it's just going to public static void clear. And all we need to do is say int array a, and that should be all right. So we've got public static void clear of an integer array. Now I want that to just clear the whole array, but to be able to do this recursively, we really need another helper method. So public, it actually doesn't need to be public. If it's in the same class, we could make it private, because this clear method is going to call this second method that we're going to make. But public static void, and I'm going to call this one C. Now it's going to take in an integer array called A, same thing as it did above. But it's also going to take in an integer, which is n, the number of items or elements in the list. And the reason that I do this is because what I want to be able to do is inside this clear method call C of A, the parameter, and then I'm just going to make the second parameter, the number of items in it, the length, a dot length. Okay, so this way it tries to clear, and it clears out every single cell of A. All right. Now we need that second parameter in our clear method so that we can iterate through and we can get closer to our base case. And our base case is here if we have an array of size 0, right? A size 0 array. So our base case is going to say if n equals 0, then we are going to just say, all right, return. Now I'm not going to return anything because this is a void method and this is a void method. Okay, so we don't want to return anything. We just want it to stop. We want it to stop executing. Okay, we need that to stop our recursion. Else, what we're going to do is we're going to clear out the first item in the list. So we're going to say a sub a dot length minus n, this parameter. And that will figure out the first element in the array. So the first time through, let's say my the array that I'm going to clear is a equals, I don't know, let's put 4 elements in it, 2, 7, 3. And I don't know, we don't even really need anything here. We can imagine that's nothing, but we'll put a 9 in there for now. Okay, so I have this array. I want to clear it. When I do a dot length, the length of this array is 4. Okay, and 4 would be my a dot length here minus n, the same thing that I did for n on the first iteration, the first time through, is 4. So 4 minus 4 would be a sub 0, 2, 3. And what do I want to do to a sub 0? I want to set it to 0. Okay. Also inside this else case, what do I want to do? I want to then call C of the same array that I was just looking at, and I'm going to get one step closer to my base case. So I'm going to subtract 1 from n. So n minus 1 is going to get me one step closer. I think I need some curly braces around my else clause, and maybe an ending curly brace. All right. So let's keep stepping through this. What happened when I set that item to 0 is it kind of makes that one equal to 0. And then I called clear of A. So I'm going to look at the same thing, except now I'm going to go n minus 1. And so n minus 1 on the second time through, that was clear of A, comma 4 was the first time through, and that called through. Well, first of all, it set this thing to 0, that first element, and then it calls clear of A sub 3. This value becomes a 3. My length of A is still 4. 4 minus 3 is now 1. So now I'm going to set that element to 0 and call clear of A sub 2. Actually, this clear method. Now n's a 2, so 4 minus 2 is 2. I'm going to set the thing at index 2 to 0 and call clear of A sub 1. If this is a 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. It sets that element to 0. And then I call clear of A, comma 0. That's my base case. And so it just returns. And on this one, I don't trace back all the way through. It's just like, I'm done. Okay. There's nothing to pass back up through the recursive call tree. It's just done. And I can see that my array has been cleared.